Good morning, everyone. God's will be done. Like and subscribe. If you are a subscriber, then hit the like button because it will help with the algorithms. If you if you are not a subscriber, then I ask that you subscribe. It's always funny for me to say this because our teachings, the teachings of black people from Africa, whether they be, and let me make something clear. Egypt is in Africa. Nubians are Africans. All the people on the African continent are Africans. And that continent is really named Alkebulan. That is what our forefathers named Africa. Kemetic philosophy is our religion. And it states, the lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. This is why I hesitate to say like and subscribe, because the lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. But let me change that. The lips of wisdom are closed except to those who do not desire truth. The lips of wisdom are closed to those who not desire truth. Because truth resonates. It resonates in thought waves. And those who are looking for truth will hear the resonant vibrations of truth in the air. Thought is like electricity. You can't see it, but you know it's there. So let me begin with the lesson at hand. White supremacy is a reality for those who are not the masters of their mind. White supremacy is a reality for those who are not the masters of their minds. Those who fear truth can never be masters of their mind. Fear is neither art or science. Art imitates life and gives direction. Science imitates the nature of God. To imitate God is to become God-like and understand the order of the universe. It is to understand God's design of life. Lies and deceptions create chaos and a dysfunction that leads to disorder. The dysfunction that leads to disorder. And that disorder is the chaos that we witness today. To search for truth is to search for the will of God. To search for truth is to search for the will of God. To search or accept lies is to fulfill earthly desires. To search or accept lies is to fulfill earthly desires. Napoleon Bonaparte wished that white people were supreme. And that's why he made the statement that he made. And that's why he went around destroying the noses off of statues to support his lies and desires to be that which he was never intended by God to be. White supremacy is not the will of God. Nothing that is a lie can be the will of God. Animals are given instinct to make them impervious to lies. Instinct does not reason and allows animals to become victims of traps. To those who understand their instinctive behavior, to those who understand their instinctive behavior or nature. Human beings have the ability to reason, which is simply the ability to not fall into traps of deception. Human beings have the ability to reason, which is simply the ability to not fall into traps of deception. However, when one chooses lies, they do not sort out the truth and they fall prey to their desires. And if you know their desires, then you can trap them. If you know a person's desires, you can trap them and take advantage of them. Understand this. When one chooses lies, they do so out of desire. When one chooses lies, they do so out of desires. An instinct in animals fulfills their desires. Instinct in animals fulfills their desires. When men choose lies, they do so based on desires and become like the beast in the fields, easily manipulated into traps. Their desires create the traps that they fall into. When man becomes a victim of his desires, he becomes instinctive like an animal. And when you know his desires, then you can play on them and trap him. White supremacy is a narcissistic desire. White supremacy is a narcissistic desire that leads to chaos and then the insanity we see today. They become trapped and their lives become an hallucination. They become trapped in their narcissistic desires and their lives become an hallucination. A liar cannot be of the master race. Masters go from the known to the unknown, adding up, as does truth. Truth adds up, lies subtract. A liar cannot be of the master race. It is totally impossible. Let me give you an example of how truth adds up and lies subtract. See, you can build on the truth. You can't build on lies. This is an example. The truth is, Columbus arrived in a land he was unfamiliar with and saw people native to the land. That adds up. He arrived to a land and he saw people that were native to the land. This is how a lie subtracts. Columbus discovered America, which means that if he discovered America, there were no people here. So you have to subtract Native Americans. And if you subtract Native Americans, you are not seeing what is there, which means you are subtracting them from the logical conclusion, and by subtracting them from the logical conclusion, you become deluded. Your mind sees a delusion, which leads to insanity. It should be common sense for you to know the degree you master your desires is the degree you become more godlike. The degree you master your desires is the degree you become more godlike. This is why people fast, to master their desires. One cannot master the forces of nature if one cannot master themselves. One cannot master the forces of nature if one cannot master themselves. Intelligence is from within out. Intelligence is not from out within. Lies are from out within. Truth, what you see with your mind, what you see with your eyes, digest with your mind, is from the inside out. Understand this. An animal that is inferior to you can become your master if it knows your desires. An animal or an insect can become your master if it knows your desires. If you live in truth, your natural superiority allows you to outthink him, and you will automatically know his desires before he knows them, and his plans you can see through. And his plans you can see through. That's why I know Caucasians who are Neanderthals, who are inferior to me. I know that they have brought in immigrants and put them into black communities that are undernourished, and then they undernourish the immigrants intentionally. Then they fight like cats and dogs over the limited resources that has been placed before them. You see, I am a Homo sapien. I know that Caucasians are Neanderthals. They cannot outthink me. They were not created to outthink me. Let God's will be done. Where falls the footsteps of masters, the ears of soon-to-be masters are opened. Where fall the footsteps of masters are the ears of those soon-to-be masters themselves are open. Truth is the master of us all. God creates truth. Truth is our master by necessity. Necessity is the master force of the universe ordained by God. Truth is our master by necessity. Necessity is the master force of the universe ordained by God. Let the force of truth be thy will. Let truth use your mind by necessity. With that, God's will be done, and have a beautiful day.